Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Ask me how we got here, 'cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries, let's go for now. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. I drag you out your mind, and there are days I hate you, but baby, you're still mine. And then we have the best times, no matter what we do. And even when we don't, there's nobody I'd rather choose. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. I'm on my last straw. I'm broken and I'm woken up. I'm done feeling your lies. I've had enough. I can't run your place in this faulty game. And all the words you speak mean nothing more to me. 'Cause let's start over now. Rewind. And I won't let you go. I need you by my side. Big rain, come along with me. Together with the truth you see. Got our pearls and our laughter too. The search for facts is always new. In this place we keep it real. Classy vibes and joyful zeal. Join the journey, it's just begun. We shine brighter than the sun. Hit the light and share the vibe. Crush those pearls, let's take the ride. Hell is here and spread the cheer. Members make the truth so clear. Spreading truth is what we do. So hit subscribe and join the crew. With every search we pave the way. Together we will save the day. With every laugh we lift our hearts. In the search we all take part. Thank you all for standing strong. Together we belong. Hit the light and share the vibe. Clutch those pearls, let's take the ride. Come in here and spread the cheer. Members make the truth so clear.
Well, hello. Good to see you all. Thank you all so much for joining me. I was going to wait until the mob crew, but I have to work tomorrow, so I have to do it now. It's now or never. Thank you all so much for joining me. I do appreciate you all, my beautiful pearls out there. Thank you. Thank you. Today is January 22nd, 2025. It is 8:42 p.m. on the East Coast of the very cold United States. Very, very cold. It is so cold, and it has been cold, and it's gonna be cold for quite a while. Hello out there. We've got a lot to talk about. Tina, I have to go to work tomorrow too. I have to work tomorrow too. Hiya, stoked you made 2 lives in one day. How about that, Kendall? You are here, girlfriend. I'm tired of cold. I am tired before it starts. I am just not a Welcome to our 6 months. We have it for 6 months, Sharon. We have 6 months of good and 6 months of so my pearl, you pearls are the best. I have to be the best of the best, hand down, classy pearls, to say the least. How you doing? How you doing? Um, Jennifer Coffin Daffer did a live, and I do want to review it because it's very good. It's really good. And it's really good, to say the very least. Uh, Talking about related to the Sebastian Rogers case. Oh, thank you, girl mom. And all of that. So we're going to review some of that. Thank you so much, Irony, for renewing your membership, my dear. Yeah. Did you check out Florida? Lots of snow, 7 inches in some places. I know. I know. The palm trees are not going to know what to do. And like the lizards and all the tropical, they're like, what the hell? We didn't sign up for this. We're going south of Florida. Can we please arrange yes, we'll do a pearl cruise one day. Greece and not cold places. Yes. Yes. For sure, for sure. Hello, Marlena. Good to see you. The Looking Glass coming in clutch, honey. 3 months. How you doing? How you doing, girl? Thank you. Thank you so very much. Really do appreciate it. We got 7.5 inches of snow. I'm going to digress from what I was going to say. I thought of the poor creatures too. I know. I know. I went and fed my chickens just a little bit ago, and they were like, "What the fuck?" They really were, pardon my French, but they were like, "What the hell?" They were not happy. Um, Many are confused about where this photo you showed came from. That came from beside the car. This came from beside the car. From beside the car. Working on some technologies right now to see what we can do in order to see if we can do a little bit better. Stay tuned, mother chickens. Stay tuned. Yeah, I've got heating lamps in my chicken coop, but I also have like a gas stove. But sometimes it kicks off. I don't know why. So I'll go in there and it's like it kicks off, so I have to kick it back on. They're little bougie little chickens. Did they show that tonight? I don't know. I have no idea. Someone just sent it to me. Yeah, I know, Cindy Lou. Thank you. That's what I was saying at the beginning of this. I was gonna wait, but I've got to work tomorrow, so it's now or never. Thank you again, Cassie. Really do appreciate you. And Irony Rose, 9 months. Love you and my pearls. We love you. I didn't even get a notification either. I don't think anybody got a notification. I wish I had a chicken coop. Get you one, girlfriend. Go to order you some chickens. Everyone needs chickens. Ginger, we are portable. You can take us to your bed. Okay? All you got to do, hold that little phone up, prop it against a pillow like I do, and lay there. That's all you have to do. That's it. I love yeah, get you some Easter egg chickens. That's what you can do. Need to get my chickens some little coats. Well, that's what the feathers are for. That's what the feathers are for. I have 5 or 6 chickens. 5 or 6. 6 chickens. So there's that. I live on a golf course. They wouldn't let me. I live 2 doors down from my mayor. Let my mayor say something, okay? I'll say, Mayor, Mr. Mayor, Armageddon comes. You're going to want my 6 chickens. Okay? All right. I don't know. Like, this, I have one rooster. And so he might be a problem when he starts crowing. Do they have names? Chicken and chicken. Chicken 1, chicken 2, chicken 3, chicken 4, chicken 5, chicken 6. That's chickens. That's it. Lots all my hens and roosters end of summer, so we are building lost. Oh, I'm sorry. Uh, I don't care. I'm like Pippi Longstocking. I'll be my chickens, they like have a nice they have a whole building. It's not even it's not like a chicken coop. It's a whole damn building. So they're a little bougie, I guess, with a gas fireplace in it. Um, they don't lay yet. They don't lay yet because I just got them in, I think, October or something. But now they're like big ass chickens. Yeah, they yes, Christopher. That's how I've taught my one rooster to crow. Christopher. My neighbor's turkey comes over. I'm terrified of turkeys. Terrified. I hate turkeys. Hate them. Mm-mm. I was raised on a farm growing up, and when I was a kid, it's Chicken Hotel. Yeah, I got trampled by a turkey. Like I was 4 years old, and this my grandpa's turkey, it came and it flogged me, and they have like big spurs on their, like where their feet are, but back there, and it just trampled me. And I've got a scar. I don't know where my scar is. Well, you can't see it because of my face, but I got a scar on my face because of it. Oh, it's right there. I have a scar right there. I hate turkeys. I'm terrified of turkeys to this day. Turkeys, snakes, and turkeys and snakes. I am terrified of a bird flogging. Yeah. Most things with beaks frighten me, but I do love chickens. My grandson was a young teen and one chased him. Yeah. Mm-mm. I don't do turkeys. I don't do turkeys. Yeah, I don't like mice and rats either. Like mice and rats, no, can't do them. Uh-uh. They're just so nasty. They're just so nasty. I don't know. Big to what you just said. I just sent it. They're crying cute. uh, I'm not scared of spiders. A lot of people are more scared of spiders than they are like snakes, and I'm like, I don't get that. I don't get that. Like a spider, I'll just crush. A snake? Mm-mm. No, I am running like a middle-aged woman. Mm-mm. Nope, I am screaming like a middle-aged white woman. I'm gonna tell you that. Uh, you would kiss a snake before you would get near a rat. Uh, I couldn't. I can't do either. A lot of people are allergic to guinea pigs. When we were kids, our uncle told my brother to go in a pen and count the geese eggs. Geese, I'm tell you something. They are something. Geese are something. They always want fed. The Canadian geese, yes. And Canadians are so kind normally, but damn the geese. You don't like I mean I like Canadians. I love Canadians, but I can't do the geese. Can't do their geese. Geese poop like dogs? What do you mean they poop like dogs? What, Ginger? What? I hate spiders, but I can't kill them. Oh, I can. Crunch. Not a problem. Not a problem. Not trained well in Canada. They poop. They hang out in the Safeway parking lots. You got a point, Joe. You got a point. Where's our Canadian cookie? I don't know. She'll be here probably in a little bit. Usually save spiders. No. You ate crickets? Why? Why do you eat crickets? What's wrong with crickets? Ain't nothing wrong with crickets. What's wrong with crickets? Unsafe goose poop. Hmm. Yeah, can't do spiders. I had a big black snake try to get. No. There she is. There's our Canadian. We're just talking about your geese. Something's wrong with your geese. I'm from Canada, and we all Canadian geese cobra. We call Canadian geese cobra chickens because they are so mean. They are mean. They're territorial. You're at the ER. Why? What's wrong? You okay? Reminds me of my grandkids in Kentucky with the crickets. Yeah. Yes. At night. Yeah. You remember those locusts or cicadas? I think is that what they're called? Cicadas? They happen like every 15 or 20 years or something like that. I remember in 2000, oh my God, they were so bad. Like, is this Bible days? Is like locusts upon us or something? You can put a cup over them and they still chirp 2 days later. Yeah, they're like, let me out. Let me out, witch. Um, the geese here are wild. They poop all over the place this summer. I had 30. This summer I had 30 of them on my front lawn. Dang. Dang. You love your doggy and horse. We live in a make they light fireworks every night. They mean lake. Is that what you mean? To make the geese leave. Uh, it is kinder than other means and seems to work. Yeah, that'll make it do it. Hmm. Well, that's very interesting. Guys, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. Would greatly appreciate it. Um, so I want to go over something because it's really good. And it was kind of refreshing to see Jennifer speaking about this. If you don't know who Jennifer Coffindaffer is, she worked for the FBI. She still trains uh, people in various aspects. She is also does a lot of guest appearances on news and all kinds of stuff. Uh, Putting her in my thing here. Okay. There we go. Okay. So she is talking about SF tonight in a little in some of this, and she makes some really good points. I will try to have an answer. Tell me, girl, tell me. I appreciate Jennifer's willingness to say yes. I did too. I agree. I find that very refreshing as well. I like most things, but multipedes give me the heebie-jeebies. Yeah, I don't think anything should have that many legs. You know what I mean? Like, why do you need that many legs? What's wrong with you? Rapidly coming to the conclusion that most people who like and agree with are just very aren't just very intelligent. I mean, we're really scraping the bottom with a lot of them. They don't seem to be able to comprehend basic things like burden of proof. Look what this was just sent to me from Trishy. The Lore Lodge, 33 seconds ago, rapidly coming to the conclusion that most people who like and agree with SF just aren't very intelligent. I mean, we're really scraping the bottom with a lot of them. They don't seem to be able to comprehend basic things like a burden of proof. Can we give an amen to that? Can we have an amen up in? Yes, ma'am, hallelujah. Okay. That's right. We are going to break this
Sebastian
case
Rogers.
with JC, honey. JC up in here. Jennifer and Deffer. Okay. And yeah. SF blocked Aiden. That's so juvenile. Really? Oh God. Drink some petty tea, honey. You're drinking some petty tea.
Here is more proof.
How about that? Here's more proof.
Gotcha, bitch.
How about that? Don't be blocking somebody like that. That's so rude. Like, it's called, you know, conversation here. Justin is Big D Danny guy. So there is Big D, which is older Danny, and there is little D, and that is little Danny, and there's Daddy DD, and that's Deception Detective. How about that? Okay. So choose your D wisely. Okay. Whispered on it. They are so neat to watch. They each live in their own terrarium living plants. Okay. I would like uh I wouldn't want to be glad to be little D. I know. I know. Danny guy's dad. Yes. Yes. I prefer the DD. Deception Detective. Hello, plant lady. Good to see you. Don't like the D's. Do you like the double D? The double D. That's right, DC. That's right, DC. Justin Lorelod responded, check text. Okay, let's check the text. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I saw that earlier. Earlier, the Laura Lodge said, "Oh my God, you're actually the worst kind of person. I'd say I regret giving you a platform, but you've yourself so hard during the interview that it makes the damage control here all the more understandable." And what did I tell you? I feel like, just my opinion, that Aiden was just asking him questions and letting him feel very comfortable. and not really challenging him much on anything, because if you challenge them, they're not going to say as much, right? They're not going to say as much. And I think Deception Detective, what I tell you guys yesterday, Deception Detective, or not Deception Detective, sorry, I was just reading Deception Detective there in chat. I was saying Aiden was just letting him feel comfortable. Yes, I did call it. I knew it, because I knew a lot of people was upset with that, but I knew he was doing. I knew what he was doing. Just SF blocked me on X for agreeing with the Lore Lodge, saying that SF was weaseling out of the tough questions. I don't even think he was weaseling out of the tough. I mean, Jennifer's going to make some very good points here in just a moment. She really makes some very, very good points. Very, very good. You can find Jennifer Coffindaffer. Oh, I already had it up there. You can find Jennifer Coffindaffer for the replay crew in the description below. I said Aiden gave SF enough rope. Yes. Yep. And what I think Aiden is doing probably right now is checking, going through one by one of what SF said, and in the next video or live or podcast or whatever he's going to do next is fire away, in my opinion. Now, I will say the thing that I did not care for this time in Lore Lodge was the unbelievable amount of timing people out. I have 2 memberships on the Lore Lodge in both Clutch Them Pearls and my bigger channel, Justin for All. And I was literally timed out from both, and a lot of people were. I don't think that was, it just wasn't like, I understand deleting a member's comments if you don't like it, but don't time them out. You know what I mean? So I kind of felt like he might have had because I don't say anything like crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't say anything crazy. His mods are usually very, very good. They're actually, and a lot of times I think they're too lenient against some people, to be quite honest with you. But this time it was like crazy. The mod said no emojis. I didn't even see that. To be honest with you. It was insane. There was so many people in there. Um there was so many people in there. But I was a little bit, well, like, so yeah, I don't know if you can do like when you have 4, 5, 6, 7,000 people in there, you can put it on slow mode, and whether it doesn't feel like it does anything, right? It doesn't feel like it does anything. It actually does, but it's still just right. I think the most I've ever had in my chat was I think when was with Jose and with Summer Wells case. Um I had over 5,200 in my chat at that time. And you can it just doesn't do anything, or just shut chat off. I don't know. I have never been timed out anywhere before. That's really good, Susie. If you're going to time people out or even delete comments, they should post every now and then. Just yeah, I agree. I agree, Sunset. I think they should, just say, if you don't want whatever, certain words or whatever, they should do that. I got timed out a couple times. Oh my God, you're that dog. I can't. I want your dog. The mods could hold on. What was that? How many mods can you have per chat? Oh, you can have a lot of mods. You can have a lot of mods. I didn't see the LLF, so it was those mods could not load the chat. They did not have access to do that. Gotcha. They didn't have any managing mods. You timed that yourself. I was gonna say maybe you can't do so whenever we do like a charity live, it goes straight like immediately to the charity instead of the dollar sign. You're going to see like hands with like a heart down below there, and that's where you donate. And sometimes the rules are a little different, so you might not be able to actually uh do slow mode. You know what I mean? I think in terms that I think they were looking at certain groups or sides, and well, Tammy, that could be. That could be. And the things I always tell my mods is, you know, whether you personally care for someone or not, we're not about our feelings. It's about, are they being vile? Not just an opinion, but really just being vile. Um, we can't take our like when I go mod for another creator, it's not really about what I, you know, think. It's about what the creator um, ask. So things that I might time someone out or block someone in another chat is something that I won't do for another chat or wouldn't do in my chat. It's just that. Oh, you're welcome, Cher. Thank you so much. It was a good conversation. Uh, so occasionally there's um mods that will not like a certain person in the community, and if they come in they just immediately block them, and that's not the kind of mod you want, in my opinion. They should have had their rules pinned. Yeah. Hello. All right, let's get it started because this is a little more spicy, Jen, but she does it always with class. Jennifer is obviously professional in everything she does. She's great here, and I appreciate her so much for um, doing, you know, uh, what is right in this case, which is, supporting the parent who had nothing to do with this, not just because someone feels that way, but because he really had nothing to do with this. He was at work. He had no means, no opportunity, anything like that. So, uh, oh, you're fine, Holly. Never been timed out. That's wonderful.
Disappearing or disappeared, I should say, went missing in February 26th. of last year, 2024. He was only 15 years old. On December 7th, he turned 6.
I think something happened to him on the 25th, just my opinion, but I think he most probably went missing on the 26th. Just
So
my
he's
opinion.
16 now, but went missing at 15 from Hendersonville, Tennessee. He was in the home with his biological mother and purportedly went to bed last heard, if you will, was a thud from his room at about 10 o'clock at night by his mom. Kind of mixed reporting from her as to exactly what happened, what she said. But the last reporting was on Nancy Grace, where she essentially said, hey, keep it down in there. And that was it. So in any event,
Bingo.
here we are. We're coming up on almost a year since Sebastian went missing. And just 2 days ago, the Lore Lodge had a person named Steve Fisher on his channel. Now, a little bit about the Lore Lodge. I had not heard of this channel, and I'm so glad I discovered it. They're not exactly a true crime channel, but they have the same sort of vibe as Kendall Ray in true crime. She's such a great storyteller. She does an
I love Kendall Ray. I have watched Kendall Ray for years. She is a very good storyteller and really cares. She really cares. I'm gonna fast forward this a little bit because I want to get to the commentary. That hello, everyone coming in. Justin, there's us going to be a local. There's us going to be a thing at the local church. You mean related to Sebastian? So there is Landon Payne in association with KP? I can check. If you email me, I can check. Name sounds familiar. So yeah, but there is going to be a 1 year gathering, if you will, with the church, at the church, related to Sebastian's disappearance. I'm going to try my best to be there. I'm assuming it's going to be on the 25th or the 26th. So there's that. Yes, guys, while you're coming in, please hit that thumbs up button. Would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Consider becoming a member of the Clutch Them Pearls. You want to be a pearl. You know you do. If you're not a pearl yet, become fabulous like us. Come on.
that he did. And he said he made a few calls to Chris
March
Proudfoot
March
and
3rd. Okay.
arranged to meet with Chris Proudfoot, that he went into his home and was establishing this relationship. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, according to Steve Fisher, he
Caroline, you're
is a
sweet.
private eye, licensed in certain states.
Listen to this.
And he, over the last few years, he talks about it all the time. He takes classes and considers himself a search and rescue person. So what it seemed like from his description of what happened was basically he was kind of hoping to get a client. Nothing wrong with that. And he landed Chris Proudfoot and Katie Proudfoot.
I love this. This is a really good laugh for her. Wendy, thank you so much, girlfriend. Really do appreciate you. Thank you so much, Wendy. Very kind of you.
He was paid, he said, $15,000. I found that very interesting too.
Can y'all believe 15,000 smackaroos? I know, Ashley. That's why I love it. That's why I love someone who is classy, that you just wear those pearls and you just like, yes. She does it well. She does it well. $15,000, $2,200 a day. The average retainer for a PI is 500 on the lower end, 5,000 on the higher end for complex cases. $15,000? $15,000 for like to argue with Hong and like to block Hong and Lord Lodge and stuff like that? I mean, yeah, I get it. You got to travel and stuff like that. But, he says he doesn't charge some people and charges other people. Uh so like I don't understand like what makes you not charge some families and charge other families. Not sure if that's really nice. Kathy, thank you so much. 15,000 is cheap for creating reasonable doubt than paying a good criminal attorney. Listen, true. Yeah, maybe trying to taint the jury potential one of these days jury pool. Perhaps, but I think they're still attorneys. I do. Uh, I mean, Edgar has a lot of attorneys. He's got, attorney in a couple or one or two attorneys allegedly even in New Mexico. So,
And I'm going to say why. I work with a lot of PIs, as you can imagine. Many FBI agents, not me, but others,
it was.
they love to continue investigating once they retire. Investigating from that standpoint, working for different clients and doing investigations. And that's why I always say, and I'm going to try not to take too much of a diversion here, but when anybody is looking for a PI, I always say, please contact me via DM on Twitter, please, because I have a whole cadre of different retired FBI agents. Why do I trust them? I trust them because they have the in their area, they're going to have amazing relationship with local and state and different authorities there that you're not going to find with somebody on Twitter.
And she's absolutely right. Not someone on Twitter, in my opinion, as well. I agree with that, Jennifer. Not to mention, I'll be honest with you, I would want a PI that is local affiliated, who knows local law enforcement, who knows people at the TBI and stuff. And you might say, well, I mean, I don't know if this PI knows people at TBI or not, but I'm talking about someone that is constantly working, not just here and there, right? But like is local, that knows the terrain, that knows all about this. So in my opinion, I believe it's for a reason.
Who says that they find missing kids. I'm not just talking.
I mean, I feel like he's more of like a media manager, like a Tim Mullins,
Steve.
perhaps.
I'm talking about anybody. They have true credentials. The other thing is, most of them have 25 plus years of conducting investigations. So this isn't something they've done for a couple of years or all of a sudden decided they wanted to do. This is something they've been trained at the FBI Academy and have received so much.
Well, I mean, just Janet, I mean, a PI can, they do work outside of law enforcement. However, you would want someone, in my opinion, to like have that relationship with law enforcement if possible, right? I mean, to have something there. But Lovey, I agree. I agree.
Much training on top of that because we're required to, and then they've done the job. So that's another reason why I really tout them. The other thing is they are responsible fiduciarily for your money, and they know it. No one in the FBI gets in the FBI to be rich or to make money. You start out, I could look now, but it's probably around $55,000. That's what it was when I left as a starting agent. You're not going to make any money. You get a big raise after about when you get what they call your 13. And then other than that, that's it. You're in it because you believe in what you're doing. You truly believe in helping. I mean, it's your way, it's your contribution. So I didn't want to divert too much, but I did want to make a plug for if anybody's looking for somebody that's reliable and responsible, please either reach out to me and I can give you a whole list of them depending on your area to help you with your need and vouch for them. But in any event, he takes a $15,000 retainer. That's a big retainer. It's much more than any retainer I've really heard of. I know he's across the country. He's in California for some people, but typically a reasonable retainer amount is usually about $5,000.
I mean, I checked the average and it said lower end 500 and on the higher end is 5,000. And she's saying typically 5,000, which is, I mean, if they have credentials with the FBI, of course, yeah, you're going to pay $5,000. And that's probably the PI that you really want, who is constantly investing rather in their education, trying to find new sources and techniques, uh, staying well versed in it.
He also said that he's charging $2,200 a day. So you can imagine how quickly a retainer like
You're never getting off. Yes, it's a circus that never ends. It's like yeah, cue the circus music, right?
that would disappear. So we don't know how much in total the Proudfoots have paid him. We know 15,000 for sure. All I'm saying, that's a half a car. That's multiple mortgage payments. This isn't a small time, situation, monetary situation. The other thing,
Kelsey, they well, I don't know how much they the retainer for the average PI is anywhere from $500 to $5,000. I would say probably 2,000, 2,500 would probably be national average. And then they charge usually an hourly rate, some cases a daily rate. But SF says his retainer for the Proudfoots were 15,000, and I think it was $2,200 a day.
with each of these points I make, I'm going to say, why is this important to finding Sebastian? But let me reiterate over that, according to Steve Fisher, he says that he's really not working for the Proudfoots. And in fact, he was hesitant as to who paid him. It was all kind of weird. But he said he's really working for Sebastian. I thought that was very interesting since Sebastian has been gone for 11 months. He's not working for Sebastian. He's being paid by Chris and Katie Proudfoot. And as someone who, or anyone, including me, whenever you have a client that is,
I mean, to work for Sebastian, wouldn't you need the other parent's approval for that?
is paying you. Yes, you are paid to find facts, but you're paid to, in a
Absolutely.
sense, look out for their interests.
I
And
agree.
if you can't, I don't think, morally take the job. So to me, you must believe in their position, is what I'm saying. And if a situation occurs, that you
I mean, yeah. I mean, if someone's, paying you $15,000 and you're charging $2,200 a day, um, that's you're probably, you know, uh, a s- I, you know, money is one thing, but the truth with a child is, in my opinion, is another.
find facts and you cannot
Truth.
anymore support their position, you need to fade out. That's my
Right,
belief
Tar,
in doing
exactly.
anything, whether it's PI work or whether it's expert witness work. Having said that, why is this important? This is important because we have seen now for months. By the way, he signed the agreement November 14th, but we know he's been involved with the Proudfoots far before that because he went down when he was working on Riley Strain.
That's true, Mohawk.
So that's when he took the diversion and first started calling Chris Proudfoot and first met with him and all of that. So we know they've been involved for a long time. And I think this is important because
Definitely not lovely.
when you're going to gauge the veracity of
Right.
somebody providing information about a case, it's important to know, are they paid by anyone? Does anyone have a foothold, if you will,
I didn't get your
on
text.
their their narrative? Is anybody paying for them to represent them?
I didn't get your
So I
text.
think it is important. Although, to be fair, Steve Fisher says if he finds anything that ends up pointing in the direction of Chris or Katie Proudfoot, he will immediately go to authorities and report it. So
Bullshit.
he says, despite the money he receives, he is not biased and he represents Sebastian's interests. So I want to put out there what Steve Fisher said in conjunction with the facts known in terms of the money. All right. Another really important point, I believe, that Steve Fisher talks about is video footage. Now, we've known about this for a while, over 100 hours. He actually stressed that, I think, 3 times, but over 100 hours, so that he, as far as we know, has a lot of video coverage from the various ring cameras and other video that was in the area. I think this is really, really important because he says, from looking at this video, he and what he describes as an analyst, that they indeed have seen a person that they have not been able to identify. He further says, if we are to believe him, that, and I believe this part of what he said, you can very much tell when he's telling the truth and being forthright. He very succinctly will talk about something. When he's not, it's like a pinball machine, whoa, reel it in. This is yes or no. But he specifically says that there's
Now,
somebody on there that it took.
I'm going to slightly disagree on this a little bit. I think that the video that matters in this investigation, the actual video that matters, the neighbors will not speak, in my opinion. They might speak. I know one of them might speak. And they might even perhaps show the video. But in my opinion, from what I've been told, they have been ordered not to release any of that video. They did not want that video out in the first place. They got very angry when that was out. Now, if he is not speaking to authorities, then he is he's just a civilian, just like any of us. He might be a PI for the Proudfoots, but it doesn't mean anything else other than he's just a PI for the Proudfoots. And regardless, if they don't want that going into any of the public's hands, I don't think he has anything that is privy to anything that actually really matters. Now, could it have, could there be something in there that they overlooked? Potentially, yes. I doubt it, but it might have, the car going up the street and turning around, and like some other uh camera that law enforcement didn't, they don't need absolutely every single camera going up, with someone just going up and turning around. But I think the videos that actually matters at the end of the day. Probably not. Just my
4
opinion.
times to watch because of the graininess of the video to identify that it was even a person, that there was a person there. And I think this is probably really so very important.
Not that I'm aware of.
I believe law
Maybe,
enforcement
but
has
not
it,
that I'm
and I
aware of.
believe it could be Sebastian, and possibly why we see on all the flyers, why we know from the beginning of the investigation, why the FBI has said it, that he disappeared on the 26th.
I highly doubt it.
Are they relying on this particular video? Recall that they live in an area that doesn't allow light pollution. Now, I don't know if any of you all have ever lived in an area like that. I have. Not only growing up on a farm, the reason you don't have much light pollution on a farm is because you don't have houses for miles. And so you don't have light sources for miles. But I'm talking about neighborhoods where they discourage and, in fact, fine for lights. The rules are when the lights, when it becomes dark, you can't.
Thank you so much, Sherry Lynn. Very sweet of you. Thank you so much, my love. Really do appreciate that. Hope you are well, my dear. Thank you so much for your support, Sherry Lynn. It's very kind of you. Very kind of you. Thank you, my dear. Would you open your door if Glue and SF were outside? That's
Can't have on your lights, your porch lights. You can't have floodlights on. It's done. You can't have it on. And that's a neighborhood that I lived in for a very long time. And it's really cool, I have to say, not to digress again, because the stars blanket you. They're always there blanketing you, but you can't see them with all the light pollution that exists. And it's really special when you're in an area that has no light.
Thank you.
So having said that, there was a waning gibbous, meaning the moon. The moon was in.
You hear that, KK? You have a waning gibbous, KK. You have a waning gibbous, KK. And it's constantly waning. Your gibbous.
In waning gibbous mode, which is pretty much a full moon. Waning gibbuses are typically about.
Stop showing your full moon of your waning gibbous. Terrible.
98% as they start to wane. So this is very.
Hold on. As they start to wane, KK's gibbous is waning. Thank you, Hey Jude, for the Remy snacks. I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much. And just a fun fact. that the waning gibbous or giblets was 96.3% that night. Antibiotic will unwane your gibbous. Thank you, Tar. Exactly. Yes, right there. 3 waning gibbuses that Shannon just showed. Thank you for showing us your waning gibbous, Shannon. Really appreciate that. It was like, so it would have been very light that night. Very light considering the waning gibbous.
Very interesting because, of course, there would be some light. And the reason that I say that they're able to pick up anything at all is because there was a waning gibbous. And that's likely why they were able to.
Hold on. We have a late one. We have a late one here. We have a late one. Where's my tardy slip? Mama Smurf, your waning gibbous to the office, please. Mama Smurf, your waning gibbous to the office, please. Thank you. We need a late slip for Mama Smurf, her waning gibbous.
Even though very faintly, make out that there was a person there. Recall that cameras, light is so important for a camera to properly function and define what that camera is seeing. And the less light, the less defined whatever you're looking at is. And that's why, and we're going to talk about the light video, that's why in many of the footage, much of the footage that we have seen, other than Texas Roadhouse, where it's nice and light, it's hard to make a lot of things out. But he has this footage, and that's why the significance, I think, is important, because he says he has it. I believe he has it. And the most important thing, I think he talked about that I believed, was this person that was spotted. He goes on to say, though, which I find very, to me, it was just concerning. And that was Laura Lodge asked, hey, listen, can you release part of that? Can we see part of that? Maybe we can make something more out. Maybe somebody else more technical can even do a better job with defining it. We obviously know the Secret Service, the FBI, the FBI's cart.
I've never done this before. We're going to do it now because little Kelly K likes to sneak in. Kelly K's leaning gibbous, or waning gibbous, not leaning gibbous, to the office, please. Kelly K, your leaning gibbous to the office, please. We need to get her 10 tardy slips.
Team, all these teams have been involved in looking at this video, and I guarantee you they have it able to see what is at all possible to be seen. I've seen these guys, when I would send in video for license tags that you couldn't see in the dark, all of a sudden they'd send it back to me and whew, there's my tag, there's my plate number. They are amazing with what they can do. And the Secret Service has the same technology. And in some cases, they have a particular machine that is, I don't believe the Bureau even has, last I knew. So in any event, you can bet that the footage that the Bureau and law enforcement, Secret Service has is the best of the best. But why is it even important for us to see it? There's no obligation for the public to really be able to see anything. And by the way, there's no obligation for Steve Fisher to be able to see anything. And I found it interesting, sort of the pedestal that he sort of put himself on, that
listen to this.
I can see it, but no, I could hurt the investigation. Well, you just said what you saw that was on it. And how are you?
Exactly. If you say what you saw was on it, then go ahead and release it. Right? Wouldn't that what you would do? If you've already said what was on it, release it. I agree with Jennifer here. 1,000%. Either don't say what was on it and just say you can't show it, which, he's no more privy to it than anyone else. Or as his client would say, pervy. He's no more pervy to it than anyone else. So,
You're going to hurt the investigation. We already know the film that has been seen, and
that's lovely.
unless you can make out a particular face or name or license tag or something like that, I just found the whole reasoning, and I particularly found it confusing personally.
Now, I will say that I don't believe anyone was lying in wait. I don't believe, in my opinion, and again, I have emailed TBI to ask them if they could clarify the 25th versus the 26th, that they are all saying that Sebastian has not been seen at all, that he has not been, that there has been no scent, that there has not been an article of clothing found, that there has not been a confirmed sighting, but they're also saying that seen on the 26th. Now, does that mean seen, or are you using the mother by saying she went to bed after midnight and she knows that he was in the home at that time? Are you just taking the mother's word for it? And then I also told them that on NamUs.gov, which is a government website that law enforcement gives the information so they can provide that on their website, that it says he was last seen at 10 p.m. So I have told them there's 3 different agencies here reporting 3 different things that doesn't make sense. Please clear this up one way or another. If you're taking the mother's word, fantastic, great. It just needs to be clarified what it is. I have still not got an answer back. It's been 3 days now or so, but they were also off, I think, for Martin Luther King Day. So there's that. Um, thank you. Hey, Jude. Really do appreciate you, my dear. Very kind of you. And thank you, Spirit Seeker, for gifting a waning gibbous. Really do appreciate you. If you receive that, make sure you thank our dear Spirit Seeker for gifting a pearl necklace. Very, very sweet of you, my dear. And Horseman, bless your waning gibbous. Really do appreciate you. Thank you for your channel and chat. Always informative with the facts and not the BS. Thank you, my dear. Very sweet of you. Really do appreciate your support, my dear. Very kind of you.
Because Steve Fisher has said Sebastian Rogers left the residence. Well, if Sebastian Rogers left the residence, why in the world is this a case? Why in the world
Smiling
is this
Sleuth, are you okay?
nefarious? I don't know.
By the way, has anyone seen Holly? I'm really worried about Holly. And I hope her husband is okay. I've been really worried about her. I haven't seen her in a few days. Haven't seen her in a few days. It's been a few days. Really, really worried about her. Hope her and her hubby's okay. Thank you so much, Kathy Yogi. I think you email about Sebastian. You mean Yogi in chat? Is that what you mean? I think she changed her name. Holly did? Where's Holly? What's her name now? Okay. No, not Holly. Not Holly S. I think I said Holly, didn't I? Hold on. Let me think. Spooky, thank you so much for gifting 5 pearl necklaces. Oh my god. Thank you so very much. Really do appreciate you. If you received one of those pearl necklaces, make sure you thank our beloved little spooky Amy here. Very sweet of you. Hold on. Let me think. I said Holly, but I don't mean Holly. Um Give me a second. Um Her husband's been really ill. Isn't it Holly? It is Holly. It is Holly. But it's not Holly S. It's the other Holly. Holly W. Holly W. Holly W. Yes, Holly W. Yeah, I've just been really worried about her. I hope her and her husband's okay. I really do. There's a lot of Hollies.
Agree with that position. I've stated this very clearly from the get-go that I believe no matter what, this is a crime and a criminal investigation, because I don't believe Sebastian Rogers made it out of that neighborhood without the assistance of someone. And that makes it exactly what they changed it to, from an endangered person being missing to a Amber Alert. And that signifies
Perhaps.
being taken. And whenever you have that, that means that there is criminal conduct likely afoot. And even though I know law enforcement, I've seen so many statements, and I've gone into this on other lives, so I won't go into them, because on those lives I say the dates and I say, the newscast that I refer to.
No.
But they've danced around.
She called? When did she call? When did she call? I want to see that. My name of my drink. It has, Brandy. It's been so cold. All of that. It's just been terrible. What did I do? I just exited out of that. What the freak? Hold on, y'all. I am so sorry for my silly ways. I apologize. Okay, here we go. Let's pop this back up. I've lost it. I know. Okay, we got it. Wasn't there a report of a young man in black with trash bags around their neck near there was a scanner? Yes, SW. I know. I gotta get my gibbous together. I haven't had my gibbous together since 1976. It's been a rough 40
around
years.
it a little bit, right? It's confusing sometimes whether they just mean there's no criminal conduct or they haven't seen anything regarding the parents.
you have seen the email, even though someone sent me a clip and said someone said that I fabricated an email. Whoever said that, you are highly mistaken. Highly mistaken. You will never, ever, ever see me fabricate something, especially with a detective's name on it. So excuse your waning gibbous. Uh, never, never. So talk to the waning gibbous and get over it.
or whether they just don't think there's anything. And recall, they haven't given any statements other than to say Green Hoodie wasn't involved since clear back in April. So you can bet there's much more investigation they've done from April to today that they have information on, but they remain radio silent, certainly, and that's good. They're
I mean,
doing their
it was
job, and we, the public, don't have to know. But I hope if they have anything that they think we could help with, that they certainly would release that. And so anyway, that was another
Text
important
Smiley.
point that was gleaned from the Laura Lodge interview. This was a point that I agreed with Steve Fisher about. He talks about in his experience, kind of trips right there, because I think he wanted to say vast experience, but his experience is minimal in the scheme of people who have been searching on search and rescue or in law enforcement for decades. But nevertheless, he says something I agree with, and that is that, and Laura Lodge gives a couple of indications or examples, I should say, and that is that you can search an area with the highest quality drones, with high quality equipment, with people who have a lot of experience in investigation and in searching, and not.
Well, they said that I probably fabricated that email. No, and all you have to do is email him yourself. It's a thought, but might be too much for you. Also, what else was it? Because they said I don't know. I'll check the email. I can't remember what they said. Something else.
Not find what you're looking for. Laura Lodge references the John Benet Ramsey case, where I believe there were 4 searches by law enforcement and others looking for her, and she was never found until the father found her, which Brian Laundrie, same thing. I found it very interesting that millions of dollars was spent, hundreds and hundreds of people, and thousands of man hours, and all the equipment that you could possibly throw at a case. And I believe it was 5 weeks, and law enforcement said he's not there. And we're going to look. We're going to conduct our investigations from an intelligence-led effort. And they left and they opened up the park. And within about an hour, the Laundrie parents found Brian Laundrie after all that searching. So to the point of both Laura Lodge.
I watched. That's how the first time I ever saw Jennifer Coffin Daffer was on when they were looking for Brian Laundrie. She was doing some commentary for News Nation back then. That's when Brian Enton first kind of got popular, and during that, I mean, it was just there's nothing that will convince me that Brian Laundrie's parents did not know where the hell he was during this whole time. I mean, they were spending millions of dollars searching for him, and he is right there in the mud. Missed him.
And Steve Fisher and me, and probably many of you, know that things can get missed. They can get overlooked. And this is a huge area with acres and acres that have been
Yes.
covered and searched relentlessly, with state-of-the-art equipment and people, but he could have been missed. It's just a fact, if he were there. Now I'm going to get to
Surely.
why I think it's ludicrous to think
Yes.
that he walked some long distance into the woods in the middle of the night in
It's
freezing
ridiculous.
cold temperatures. When I say freezing cold, that's an expression. You guys can go look for yourself. I've gotten in trouble for pinning down the exact temperature, but to my understanding,
Same. So I just say between 30 degrees and 60 degrees, somewhere between there, which all are cold when you're barefooted and it's damp Tennessee in February.
it was in the 50s and 60s.
And regardless, whether it was 50 or 15 the night he walked out, definitely it got cold shortly after that. Hi, Smiley. Good to see you all.
60s that evening when they were eating at the Texas Roadhouse, but it tipped clear down into the 30s, low 30s by that evening.
Bingo.
I mean, this is February in Tennessee after all. And that he would walk off barefooted into the woods with varmints, animals, snakes, fire ants, which we know he had a bad experience with, and go hide in a cave there. Fisher actually throws this out as a possibility. Nothing can be really taken off, I suppose, but I look at what's probable and what's possible. It's very improbable that, other than somebody putting him there, in my opinion, that he would have walked miles barefoot in these freezing conditions without a coat, with only this little keychain flashlight and no light, and disappeared into the woods. I also found it interesting that a search and rescue person,
It is nearly impossible not to leave a scent. It is nearly impossible because your the human body, the human skin produces natural oils, sweat. You're constantly exfoliating skin, billions of cells every single day. While you're walking, that sweat, the oil, the dead skin cells hit the surface of the ground, and that is detected by the scent dogs. If it is heavy, like if it's extremely dry conditions, like we're talking heat, dry, the scent does not last as long. And if it is like pouring the rain as you are walking off, that could hurt the scent, but it's still going to leave a scent. It is nearly impossible not to leave a scent, particularly barefooted or with socks on. Now there is different types of search dogs, and there's cadaver dogs and all that. I mean, cadaver dogs, they can, a lot of them can find human remains in cement, in the ground for decades in some cases, or even longer.
is terrified of and claustrophobic of small places. That to me is just an oxymoron, because where do you look for missing peoples? In tunnels, in caves, where they could be secreted, where they could be hidden.
Right. and she's absolutely right. You want to check in something where someone could take shelter. When someone, particularly a child, particularly a young child, uh, under 11 years, let's say, whenever they get so tired, they usually just crawl up wherever they are and just stop and lay down until hopefully someone finds them, or unfortunately they perish, God forbid.
So I found it interesting that you would want to get involved in search and rescue if you can't search and rescue in confined places. But that's neither here nor there. I'm sorry. That was just something that jumped out at me. Maybe it won't for you. Again, I'm not trying to bash. I'm just kind of trying to highlight some of the more interesting points.
Yes, water molecules do carry scent. It does carry scent. And it it certainly does. But with certain conditions, after a period of time, it also this is particularly very, very dry. The scent tends to not last as long if you're picking up a tracking scent.
And trying to stay focused though on how this aids or hurts that or not hurts, but provides information regarding Sebastian. So again, I agree with his point that he might not be found and could be close. He says within 0.7 miles. He has some statistics. He also said that 50% of all autistic people wander off before the age of
And
18.
it showed up, yes.
I haven't seen that statistic, but it's certainly true that autistic children do often leave and go toward water and are often found in water. I mean, if you look at my Twitter, sadly, it's case after case after case of autistic people who have done just that and disappeared and been found in water. But I did think his point there was an important one to at least consider. Another
Well, Kimby, that's what, in my opinion, that's what he is trying to allude to, that this person could be Sebastian. In my opinion, just my opinion, I feel like they are going off what the mother says, or that he was seen being taken out, perhaps because they issued an Amber Alert, and that indicates being abducted. Uh, in it doesn't mean, you can be abducted alive or other, um, or in distress. You can be abducted while you're very ill, or trauma happening to you. So I don't know. That's why I've emailed TBI. I'm waiting to hopefully that they can clear up why they have stated they've seen him, or they have not seen him. There has not been a scent. He has not been on camera. There have been no articles of clothing. There have been no confirmed sightings, but yet the TBI says last seen on the 26th. Mom went to bed shortly after midnight. Is she saying that she knows he was in his bedroom, even though she didn't go see him? They're just taking her word for it. But then again, like I said earlier, NamUs, which they get their information from law enforcement, namus.gov, it says last seen at 10 p.m. Or sorry, yeah, 10 p.m. on the 25th. So there's so much there's conflicting answers to this, and it needs to be addressed because the public is genuinely confused. And like I said in the email, you don't want, if there's, just be on the same page, right? Just be on the same page with everyone. Cassie, thank you so very much, my dear. In my opinion, FF was hinting to them and his son. Well, like I said earlier, Cassie, I don't believe anyone was laying in wait. I don't think that, in my opinion, he probably has anything of significant value, since he is not working with authorities. And I think that authorities, the video that is of value, I feel like authorities have told those individuals to not release it, not show it, any of that, because it could very much potentially hinder the investigation if it got out, because they never, ever, ever wanted the flashlight video to get out in the first place, which leads me to believe I just don't feel like
Another
leaving it with
important
value.
point, verified, that we've verified before. I had on a dog handler. Fortunately, she's become so controversial. It's so amazing that there's no controversy, I don't think, at all regarding the fact that she has multiple canines, that she's in the military, and that she trains canines. But certainly
Oh.
everything she's done.
You just reminded me of something that I found the other night, and I noticed this. Why hasn't CP announced during his many live stream panels that he was last seen on camera on the 26th? I think it was a typo. If law enforcement knew that, they would tell the parents. I don't know. They say TBI doesn't make mistakes. Law enforcement doesn't make mistakes on their stuff. I don't know. But I want to show you something. Let me pull up something while this is playing. It could be, but as of now, I'm not going to say it's a mistake because I just don't know. I don't know that to be true. Let me find. I'm going to show you something here.
Everything she said
Speaking of something like that,
has been nitpicked to death.
Edgar
I
said,
truly feel
never been
sorry
talked
for
about.
her. I had her on. I researched and received every copy of all of her certifications before I had her on. Also verified she was in the military, verified her rank, and I believe she is a canine handler who is well trained in canine handling. And we went over the fact that there was no dog that picked up precisely the scent of Sebastian Rogers that then went to the construction site. So this has been a long time ago. And then on Twitter, I've discussed it. In any event, and on lives, there is no confirmed scent of Sebastian Rogers leaving the house by a dog. Okay, just for our consideration. That's just the way it is. And in fact, according to Steve Fisher, Max, who hit on the construction site and on the retention pond and jumped in, that dog was, in fact, according to Steve Fisher, picked up in a car and driven to the construction site. That's what Steve Fisher said. I specifically listened to the body-worn camera coverage, and you can hear this officer just panting, running, trying to follow Max to the construction site. Maybe it was another dog, but the bottom line is, the point that's relevant is that no dog following Sebastian's specific scent has followed him anywhere. There have been scent dogs that have followed the scent of humans, people, to the construction site, which I find interesting, very interesting, and to other places, but not the scent of Sebastian. Okay. And Steve Fisher confirmed that. Let's talk a little bit about the lights, the light video, the flashlight video. We're going to talk, I'm on tonight with Mob Crew. I'm very excited to talk tonight on there and really engage. Why do I like Mob Crew's channel? I'm just going to give him a plug here. I like Mob Crew's channel because, first of all, I think he's genuine. I really do. I think he cares. I can hear it in his voice. I see it in his eyes, and I see it in his work. And I think it's rare to find on YouTube. It's really not that rare. You just have to look for people who are really trying to do this right, and not be, tragedy pimps. I don't even understand why some people have a platform when they're felons and have horrible backgrounds and they have no idea what they're talking about. They have no training, but they love to talk, and they love to talk terrible about a lot of different people. And I like Mob Crew because that's not his vibe at all. Does he, get irritated sometimes and say things sometimes? Of course, we all do. We all get irritated and maybe throw in a little jab. But his work on this case has really been second to none. And I look forward to going on his channel tonight. We're going to talk about the light video there, but I just want to say this because, again, we're focused in on what happened with Laura Lodge and Stephen Fisher, what was discussed, and they discussed those lights. And Stephen Fisher, for the first time, at least that I know of, made it crystal clear that he also doesn't believe it's trash trucks. Now, that wasn't what I was hearing from him before. Now he has a whole line of belief that we're seeing actually.
And to be honest with you, I don't think he believed it then. I don't think he believed it then, from what I understand. And let's say he did. He can change his mind. He can certainly change his mind. Thank you so much, Lorraine. Channel is the most awesome and fantastical. Hurrah, hurrah. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. Thank you so much, my dear. Really do appreciate you so very much. I'm looking for something that I caught Edgar saying the other day, and it makes me wonder that law enforcement has showed Edgar some video that they have not shown anyone else. Like, hi, can you tell us about this? I'm going to find it. I got to find it.
One flashlight, not two, and that the one flashlight is a neighbor that is moving a trash can. I don't believe that. I don't believe it a bit. And I don't believe that because I've seen too much analytics regarding where the lights are, the flashlights, and they're over by Sebastian's house. The house he's referring to with this trash movement is off camera. So I don't believe that. And I'm not sure I really believe that one light is fixed because I see it move. There's another light that Fisher may be referring to that I do think is a house light on the house that's to the far right as you're facing Sebastian's house. But you see a light move and then you see another light on screen and then move. Could that be because of the vantage of the camera? Well, no, it really can't if that camera is a fixed camera that's taking this. And we have no information that this was a moving camera. In fact, according to Steve Fisher, the cameras are antiquated from the standpoint that they're standalones. And I could tell you from collecting hundreds and hundreds of videos over my career, they're not the best quality. They do the best they can, But they end up being grainy and they're far away. And so in any event, I just wanted to say that Fisher now says it is a light, but it's somebody moving a trash can up the road. We'll get into more of that with Mob Crew. But I just wanted to say that Steve Fisher is now at least agreeing that one is a flashlight. So that his whole vibe has changed on the flashlight video. You'll have to listen to it. You'll hear him. It's a little bouncy, but that's what I ascertained. It's not a garbage truck. In fact, he says that, I think his exact words are, well, I'm not going to say exact words, I'm paraphrasing, but that law enforcement told the parents to say that. Okay, I believe that's on that video. All right. But let's get in, and I think this is very important. What does Steve Fisher say about his information from law enforcement and about law enforcement contacting him? This is important. And I'll tell you why. So I'm going to do this in reverse. I'm going to say why it's important, why we even need to talk about it. And then I'm going to say what he said. The reason it's important is if we're getting information from somebody who is directly getting information from law enforcement, then that person can have important information that would be important to our understanding as to what happened to Sebastian Rogers. So I think it is important to know whether a PI is involved with law enforcement, if they're getting their information from them. You'll have to watch this. But initially that question is asked, and initially he says, yeah, they contacted me. And then Mob Crew dials down. I love how Mob Crew interviews. It's subtle, but I'm telling you, he dialed down. And he said, okay, well, exactly who? Like, is it Sumner County? Is it TBI? Who is it? And what it ends up being, what he says anyway, when you pare it all down, you're going to have to watch a lot of it. I've watched it twice, and then I've rewatched several parts more than once, trying to dial down. But he ends up saying that it's actually somebody in search and rescue that contacted him. But then he says, but search and rescue is law enforcement, but it wasn't law enforcement, but it was search and rescue. And then he says, because when all of this happens and you're searching all this time and you're not coming up with anything, that they bounce what they found off each other, different search and rescue teams. So that was what all this time we've been hearing Fisher say and others say on behalf of Fisher, that he has this contact, direct contact with law enforcement, and he's been talking to him and they've talked to him. Even at the beginning of the video, he said, quote, they contacted me. And I believe that is a direct quote. And then he changes, but
Okay, I found
that's
it.
why this is important. If somebody
I found it. I see you. Go back. About other people sent following to the construction area. Hold on. How much do I need to go back for that?
And then Mob Crew dials down. I love how Mob Crew interviewed once, trying to dial down.
Hold on one second.
But he ends up saying that it's actually somebody in search and rescue that contacted him. But then he says, but search and rescue is law enforcement, but it wasn't law enforcement, but it was search and rescue. And so he changes, but that's why this is important. If somebody truly is getting information from now,
was it before or after this?
Moving along. This was so disconcerting. So disconcerting.
Okay, we'll get back to that in just a second. Can you give me a timestamp? I see you on that. Okay, I want to show y'all something. I want to talk to y'all about something that I thought was interesting. Okay. You got to listen to the words carefully. Okay.
He got to go to BJ's. He had a glass of popcorn. He hung out with family. He went and played video games at Strike and Spare. After that, he went and had dinner at Roadhouse, Texas Roadhouse. He ate his whole meal. I mean, everything in the video, even the videos that Seth has seen.
Even in the video Seth has seen.
House, Texas Roadhouse. He ate his whole meal. I mean, everything in the video, even the videos that Seth has seen. He doesn't show any negative signs of he's upset or anything like that. As far as we all know, Sebastian had a great day. Great mood. He got to go to BJ's. He had a glass of popcorn. He hung out with family. He went and played video games at Strike and Spare. After that, he went and had dinner at Roadhouse, Texas Roadhouse. He ate his whole meal. I mean, everything in the video, even the videos that Seth has seen. He doesn't show any negative signs of he's upset or anything like that. As far as we all know, Sebastian had a great day.
Even the video Seth has seen. Lauren Ray from Facebook writes, even the videos, even the ones Seth has seen, even the ones Seth has seen, he doesn't show any negative signs of being upset. Seth had to beg law enforcement for proof of life from Sunday night. 1 second here. Yeah, it can't go any slower. I wonder if they have found video of Edgar in certain places, just hypotheses, which is not a fact, and saying, could you explain this? Seth corrected Edgar on WebSleuth that he did not see inside Texas Roadhouse video. That, yes, that is true. Even the one Seth has seen.
Great. He got to go to BJ's. He had a glass of popcorn. He hung out with family. He went and played video games at Strike and Spare. After that, he went and had dinner at Roadhouse, Texas Roadhouse. He ate his whole meal. I mean, everything in the video, even the videos that Seth has seen.
I want to show you this.
He doesn't show any negative signs of he's upset or anything like that. As far as we all know, Sebastian had a great day. Great mood. He got to go to BJ's. He had a glass of popcorn. He hung out with family. He went and played video games at Strike and Spare. After that, he went and had dinner at Roadhouse, Texas Roadhouse. He ate his whole meal. I mean,
All right. Now I want to show you something else. 1 second. Oh my God, we got a member up in here. Chris House. She's a brick house. How you doing? Thank you so much for becoming a pearl. And may I say, Chris, pearls look amazing on you. 1240 from right now. Thank you so very much. I see you. Really do appreciate you. I want you to listen to this. I found this the other day. Do you guys remember Sebastian at the birthday party at the game show? Welcome, new Pearl. How you doing? Do y'all remember that? And where they say, where she says, where Sebastian says she's got to get 600 or something like that, and she's like, no, he don't. Real, smart ass kind of thing. How they were rude to him for just saying what he had to get. You remember that? I want to show you something. We're going to give Sebastian a big round of applause. Here we go. Listen.
Well, it's like the picture with him in front of the big trophy. That was a thing that we took him to for his birthday, and we let him pick his team. And I'll be darned if they didn't win.
That's right. Even though he was yelled at for saying the right amount, the other buffoons there had no idea that what Sebastian. No, he doesn't, Sebastian. Sebastian won that game on his birthday. Hear ye, Sebastian. Good job. How about that? How about that? Oh, thank you, Chris. That is so generous. You are truly the best and only voice I trust in it. Oh, thank you, my dear. Your compassionate kindness and true heart for the missing shines bright. Thank you for all you do. Love you so much. That is so sweet of you, Chris. Wow. Thank you so very much. I really, really do appreciate that, my dear. Thank you. That's very kind of you. And the words mean very much, very much. Thank you, my dear. Y'all, thank Chris House. I love your last name. That's cute. Thank you so much, my dear. You're more than thank you. But did you hear that?
Oh,
Remember how they were kind of uh kind of tearing him down? All he was saying was the number, like when you're saying, "Oh, you're supposed to get 500 or you're supposed to get 100," like whatever the number is that he was like, "No, he's not." And everyone's like, "Sebastian this and Sebastian that." Like he was just saying the number. It's his birthday, man. Let him be a kid.
The picture with him in front of the big trophy. That was a thing that we took him to for his birthday, and we let him pick his team. And I'll be darned if they didn't win.
Proud of you, Sebastian. Really, really, just sad. You know what I mean? I'm glad he won. Really sad, man. Thank you so much, Morgan. You are amazing much. Oh, thank you, my dear. Really do appreciate your support. Thank you, my dear. Very kind of you. Thank you, Morgan. Very sweet of you, my dear. Should we revisit Edgar and Webb Sleuth? Has Justin done that? We can do that. I haven't done that one maybe once. That's a good one. I've done little bits and pieces of it, but we can do that one if you want. Seems to me Edgar always yells and belittles Sebastian. I mean, the thing about it is, Mohawk, like, I really feel that, you know, um, sometimes I think it's how you're raised, in like what am I doing here? Like what you think is appropriate or not. You know what I mean? Like if you are raised in such a environment, I think you don't even realize like how you live or how you teach your children is bad. And, just the way that they, would talk about Sebastian in the very disparaging, you know what I mean? And I don't even think they saw it. I really don't until like people was like, that's kind of up. You know what I mean? So it's beyond me. It's beyond me to be quite honest with you. Um it's really sad. It's really sad. what was I going to say? I was going to say something about, one thing Chris said, he talks about in one of the interviews he does how he had a really jacked up childhood, like I guess with people laying hands on him or whatever. And I think that can play a big role later on. Sadly, most people become very, very similar to what they was raised in if you don't break that cycle. They really can. I mean, everyone gets irritated and we all get pissy at times in our life. We're human beings. I understand that. But just like the thing what they were doing with Sebastian, he was just saying a number. And like I said, we've all been pissy at times. But then you have to stop and think like, oh my God, you get 18 summers. You get 18 summers with your kids, right? And only about 12 of them, 11, 12, they like you out of the 18. You know what I mean? It's so short. And so when you get pissy or whatever, there's been times where, I've just been pissy or whatever. And I think, get it together. Stop being so pissy. Because you only get 18 summers. And then 12 of them, they only like you. And then the rest, they know everything. You know what I mean? So, God, that makes me want to cry. Life is so short. I can't think about it. I can't think about it. Thank you, Jan, so much for 9 months, my dear. Really do appreciate you. Very kind. Thank you for 9 months of continuous support. I really good to see you. Hope you are well. Thank you, my love. Benjamin Bartholomew. There she is. Hello. How you doing, Ben? How you doing? There's the Mac Daddy G himself. Thank you so much, Ben. If you received one of those memberships from the Mac Daddy himself, make sure you thank him. Benjamin Bartholomew is the name I have named him. Thank you, Ben. It's so good to see you. Really do appreciate you. My nest has been empty since June. Feels like my soul's been ripped out, Kelly K. I don't want to even think about it. It's yeah, sad. Okay, moving on. Oh, thank you, Jules. There's my girl. How you doing, Jules? Thank you, Justin, for you do give love to my girl, Remy. I certainly will. Certainly will. There's something ICU wanted me to go back on here, and it was 12 minutes. Let's see here. It might be around here.
And not be, tragedy pimps. I don't even understand why some people have a platform.
I don't either.
When they're felons and have horrible backgrounds and they have no idea what they're talking about. They have no training, but they love to talk, and they love to talk terrible about a lot of different people.
Yeah, I mean, I hate the fact, and I'll be honest with you, I hate the fact. I don't do the drama thing, y'all know that. But I hate the fact that people mix drama and true crime. I hate that. I hate that. Even the people I support, I hate that. And that's just the truth. Listen, drama, and these are serious situations. it's okay to make your audience laugh and smile and all of that, because it's a hard situation to talk about. And you can be silly at times and all of that, but I don't like the attacking on one another. We are not here to say we're lifting people up and trying to help people while we are tearing other creators apart. That's just the way I feel. Particularly creators, not the subs. I'm not even talking about the subs or anything like that. I'm talking about creators, because we have to be the example. We are the example. And our audience follows us, influencers, right? For a reason. And I hate the word trauma, to be honest with you, because whatever happened in the crime, that's enough drama in itself. These are human beings, they're real life. Someone's life has been seriously affected. Now, I understand a lot of people does not um agree with they think you should just tell the story and not be not have an opinion one way or another. And that's fine. If some people work that way, great. I'm not one of those. I do tell my opinion. I do speculate. Um, but you won't tell me, you won't hear me saying someone murdered someone. Do we all make mistakes as creators in our journey? Hell yes, especially in the beginning. Uh, I certainly did, uh, and all of that. You get your learning curve, and it's a big one. But I don't understand why we have to constantly attack one another for what someone believes on a case, or how someone uh, disagrees with you, who has an entirely different channel. It's ridiculous. Look, can we grow up? Can we be adults? Can we be adults finally uh, in this genre? It's like we wouldn't expect our kids to act like this. So why the hell are adults behaving like this? I get it. People get under your skin, right? But just because people get under your skin doesn't mean you have to get on here and foam at the sides of your mouth and scream at people. Okay, you don't agree with them. That's fine. There's 9 billion people on the planet. You're not going to agree with a lot of them. It doesn't mean we have to get out here and say, I'm calling you out for this, mother chicken. And the audience is like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, are we like it's like a pack of hyenas now? I mean, it's very bizarre on here. It's very bizarre. Um, I don't know. I don't know. And I agree with Jennifer 1,000%. Um, I don't know why. I don't know why people do it. I really don't. I really, really don't. Sorry, got off on a little tangent there that I don't normally go off on, but it's true. It's true.
People. And I like Mob Crew because that's not his vibe at all. Does he, get irritated sometimes and say things sometimes? Of course, we all do. We all get irritated and maybe throw in a little jab. But his work on this case has really been second to none. And I look forward to going on his channel tonight. We're going to talk about the light video there, but I just want to say this because, again, we're focused in on what happened with Laura Lodge and Stephen Fisher, what was discussed. And they discussed those lights. And Stephen Fisher, for the first time, at least that I know of, made it crystal clear that he also doesn't believe it's trash.
Yeah, I mean, if you see like trashy, not classy, exactly, Patty. Um, and if you see really, you know, creators that really tend to go far, they are not the ones here screaming. They're just not. They're not the ones that are here screaming. Nobody is going to actually take you seriously if you are constantly uh, putting other creators down. You don't play well with others. It just doesn't. It's just not a good look. It's just not a good look, and it's nothing that you want to. It's nothing that I wouldn't want to be uh, remembered for. Do we all make mistakes? Do we all say things at times? Yes, but I'm talking about just the majority, how you are the majority of the time. So there's that. Um, oh, thank you, Kat. Thank you so much, my dear. Western, your perfect flawless every time it's another. Thank you, Kat. Really do appreciate you. Thank you so much, my dear. And thank you so much for your membership. That really does mean a lot to me. Very much, Kat. Thank you. And yeah, Summer, find Summer. I tell people, I tell my viewers all the time, honestly, do your heart, do your soul a favor. Um, you will feel so much better if you don't listen to the negative, constant negative. If you want to be a positive person, trying to help uh, someone who has been wronged, right? Someone who has been wronged, like a child, someone who can't fend for themselves, then you can't be the one that is constantly uh, putting others down for a difference of an opinion, right? Just tearing people to shreds. And listen, uh, I tell this to my fellow YouTubers that am friends with all the time. Uh, Sometimes they go out and I'm like, oh, shouldn't do that. Uh, oh, thank you so much, my dear. I really do appreciate that, Babs. Bad attention is not good attention. That's right. That's right. You're very right. 31:35 from where I was. Okay, I think here we are.
But you see a light move and then you see another camera. Well, no, it really can't if that camera is a fixed camera that's taking this. And we have no information that this was a moving camera. In fact, according to Steve Fisher, the cameras are antiquated from the standpoint that they're standalones. And I could tell you from collecting hundreds and hundreds of videos over my career, they're not the best quality. They do the best they can, but they end up being grainy and they're far away.
One second.
People, but he could have been missed. It's just a fact. If he were there. Now I'm going to get to why I think it's ludicrous to think that he walked some long distance into the woods in the middle of the night in
right here it is.
Freezing cold temperatures. When I say freezing cold, that's an expression.
Listen to the words.
You guys can go look for yourself. I've gotten in trouble for pinning down the exact temperature, but to my understanding, it was in the 50s and 60s that evening when they were eating at the Texas Roadhouse, but it tipped clear down into the 30s, low 30s by that evening. I mean, this is February in Tennessee after all. and that he would walk off barefooted into the woods with varmints, animals, snakes, fire ants, which we know he had a bad experience with, and go hide in a cave there. Fisher actually throws this out as a possibility. Nothing can be really taken off, I suppose, but I look at what's probable and what's possible. It's very
Bingo.
improbable that, other than somebody putting him there, in my opinion, that he would have walked miles barefoot in these freezing conditions without a coat, with only this little keychain flashlight and no light,
Yep, Joe, you're exactly right.
and
This will make
disappeared
them feel better.
into the woods. I also found it interesting.
It's the only dopamine that sends to their brain whenever they are tearing someone apart. It makes them feel better temporary.
Interesting that a search and rescue person is terrified of and claustrophobic of small places. That to me is just an oxymoron, because where do you look for missing peoples? In tunnels, in caves, where they could be secreted, where they could be hidden. So I found it interesting that you would want to get involved in search and rescue if you can't search and rescue in confined places. But that's neither here nor there. I'm sorry. That was just something that jumped out at me. Maybe it won't for you. Again, I'm not trying to bash. I'm just kind of trying to highlight some of the more interesting points, and trying to stay focused, though, on how this aids or hurts, that or not hurts, but
Barbara, I disagree with you there. Um, I think rather than backlash, I think people should just say their own opinion, and people go where they go. We don't have to respond to everyone. And I wholeheartedly agree with her, right? There is no evidence of a scent. There is no evidence of that we're aware of him being on camera. There is no clothing. There is nothing. Nothing. And I hope to get that email back from TBI that they can clarify. It's just another person's opinion, but hers, in my opinion, has a lot more value because she has worked for the FBI for 20 plus years and has done a lot of, and still yet today trains, and she's paid, I'm sure decently at least, to give her opinion on the news all the time. So, um, I really think that the what authorities have stated, uh, that there is nothing, and that this is a criminal investigation now. You can email, and they will tell you that this is a criminal investigation. If you know don't take my word for it or the email that I showed. Um, so we know that a crime has happened. There has been a crime committed against Sebastian. Now, the person you believe that could possibly be, or you have no idea, that's up to you. But there has been a crime uh, committed against Sebastian, whether that is someone at random or someone closer to home. Uh, I don't know, but you know, a crime should not happen against a child at all. It's not the way it should be.
but provides information regarding Sebastian. So again, I agree with his point that he might not be found and could be close. He says within 0.7 miles. He has some statistics. He also
I
said that
disagree with that.
50% of all autistic people wander off before the age of 18. I haven't seen that statistic, but it's certainly true that autistic children do often leave and go toward water and are often found in water. I mean, if you look at my Twitter, sadly, it's case after case after case of autistic people who have done just that and disappeared and been found in water. But I did think his point there was an important one to at least consider. Another important point verified that we've verified before, I had on a dog handler. Fortunately, she's become so controversial. It's so amazing that there's no controversy, I don't think, at all regarding the fact that she has multiple canines.
Now, that statistic, it's actually 49% of, make sure I'm not muted, 49% of children with autism attempt, the word is attempt, to elope from a safe environment at least once after the age of 4. And that is only a study from the Journal of Pediatrics citing in 2012. It is 4 times, it is true, statistically, children with autism, 4 times higher rate of elopement or any type of developmental disabilities. But the wandering, it can be wandering away from your parent in a mall, going from one store while your mom or your dad or your caregiver is getting shoes and going to another store across the hall. That doesn't mean necessarily leaving your home in that statistic. So that's extremely important. It doesn't mean you're running away from home necessarily in that statistic. It just means attempting to wander off. That is one study. And one study is one study. It is absolutely true that statistically, that, what was I going to say? Statistically, children with autism, anyone with autism, really, but particularly children, under the age of particularly 12 is extremely drawn to water, and all that. So, but in this study, by the way, the most common reasons for children with autism to elope, 54% of that statistic, the reasons why, the 49% attempt to elope is 54% of that 49% is seeking a place or object they enjoy. 36% is escaping a situation or environment they find unpleasant. So, what is that? 90% of that 49%, they are either eloping because they are seeking a place or object they enjoy. They want to go find a place that it's on their mind, and or something that they left somewhere, or an object, they go for that. whether that is a pool, a river, a pond, right? An object, you know, they got a park in their mind or whatever. Or 36% of that is escaping a situation or environment they find unpleasant. And that's why I've always said that, in my opinion, in just my opinion, which is opinion is not a fact, but this is my opinion, that I believe the reason Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is missing today is because of one person. Whether he escaped on his own, which I wholeheartedly do not believe that he did, uh, is because he was trying to escape a situation, or but I do believe it's because of one person. I really do. And it's the one person who can't give us dates. It's the one person that can't give us dates. So there's that. Guys, it's 11 p.m. We will continue. I have to be at work. I didn't realize it was 11 p.m. Thank you all so very much for joining me. I really do appreciate each and every one of you, pearls. You all are beautiful, beautiful souls. I will see you guys, Lord willing, God willing, sometimes tomorrow. Stay warm wherever you are. Justice for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Justice for Summer Moon Utah Wells. Justice for Michael Monkey Joseph Vaughn. And justice for all of these missing little ones and all of the missing out there. They all deserve to be found. No one deserves to be thrown away. It's very sad. God bless you all. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take good care of yourselves. Take your vitamins. It's people are getting sick left and right. I'm feeling it myself. I'm going to go take some extra vitamins, I think. Some extra vitamin C. Take care of yourself, everyone. Get some rest. God bless you all. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.